Good evening, everyone. My name is Kirsty, Duncan, and I want you to know I'm absolutely humbled to be before you today as Canada's new minister. Bonjour, je suis Kirsty Duncan, ministre des Sciences. C'est un honneur pour moi de m'adresser à vous aujourd'hui. And I have to tell you, it's a bit intimidating. I think this is the very first speech in my life that has no statistics in it. No stats and no PowerPoint to fall back on. I'd like to begin by acknowledging we've had real excitement in our country with Nobel winner Dr. Arthur MacDonald. And I don't have to tell this group that his scientific contributions have advanced our very understanding of the universe. And I had the pleasure of meeting with him yesterday. Adding to our knowledge of the innermost workings of matter, his discovery will help set a path for new directions in the study of physics and astronomy. His work and vision have made Canada a world leader in the field of particle astrophysics. So I know he's not here tonight, but can we all join in acknowledging this tremendous Nobel laureate? And to all the distinguished guests and friends in this room, good evening. I'd like to extend a big thank you to Dr. Mehrdad Hariri and the Canadian Science Policy Centre for inviting me to address you tonight. What a fantastic event, and congratulations to all the volunteers. It's been a whirlwind of briefings and meetings with the scientific community and stakeholders, and it's only been 3 weeks. As a former scientist, I want you to know, I mean, my life has been the intersection between science and policy. And evidence-based policy making matters profoundly to me. And like you, my life has been science. I began teaching at the university early in my career. Shortly thereafter, recognizing the need for more government action on scientific issues in which I believed, and Gordon, you would know this, I started consulting to government. And around the same time, I began putting together an expedition to discover the cause of the 1918 influenza, a pandemic that killed upwards of 50 million people. Our team headed to an island north of Norway to exhume the bodies of individuals who died of the flu and were buried in the permafrost. Our goal was to learn as much as we could about the virus so that we could test our drugs against history's deadliest disease and perhaps make a better flu vaccine. I want you to know I recognize the importance of broad scientific debate, not just about incremental change, but about transformational discoveries that can truly change outcomes for Canadians, the country, and the world. I also want you to know I come from your world. And I want you to know that I'm committed to collaboration and openness. So I want to say something to all of you, and that is simply, thank you. Thank you on behalf of the Government of Canada for the work you do each and every day. It is respected, it is valued, and it's celebrated. Science, both fundamental and applied, delivers, I don't have to tell this group, economic, environmental, health, and social benefits. It creates jobs and opportunities and is at the heart of an innovation economy. But our government knows that science is so much more than that. Scientists work for a better tomorrow by making exciting discoveries, from aerospace to astronomy, from biotech to clean tech. And I would argue that science matters more than ever before because the challenges we face, like climate change and shrinking biodiversity, are ever greater. So it follows we need robust science in Canada for the public good. And I think a government's ability to protect environmental and human health depends on scientific excellence and integrity. And I am proud of the world-class work of federal scientists and researchers. I love the words of Nobel Prize winner John Polanyi, who said, and quote, "Human dignity is better served by embracing knowledge." Let me assure you that we are a government that fully embraces science and research. We believe good scientific knowledge should inform decision-making, and already we have taken action. We have made it clear that government scientists and experts can and should speak freely about their work. And I will work closely with Canada's scientific community to ensure that there is open communication about science now and in the future. And so earlier this week, there was a First Ministers meeting, and a number of us were able to participate in a Google Hangout on climate change. I didn't know what that was until this week. Two federal scientists shared their work on climate science with Canadian students, the Prime Minister, and premiers. The presentation was webcast to anyone in the world who wanted to watch. The bottom line, our government values scientists and will treat scientists with respect. I hope you saw that our very first act upon forming government was to reinstate the long-form census, because Did I mention this is the first speech without data? Because we did this because the benefits of good quality data cannot be overstated for economic and social researchers, for policymakers, for communities. And as you can all read in my mandate letter, and it's been made public, my overarching job will be to support scientific research and the integration of scientific considerations in our investment and policy choices. My goal has been to hit the ground running. Since the swearing in, I've been reaching out, in fact, to many of you in this room and trying to get a good handle on the state of the nation's science and science policy. What investments have we been making in people, infrastructure, and science? How do we compare internationally? What is student interest in science, technology, engineering, mathematics? These are the types of questions I'm asking. But I'm really eager to start traveling across the country to visit with researchers and hear their thoughts. Last night was really exciting. I got to speak with researchers from labs across this country. And I have to tell you, it takes all my might not to go, wow. The science is so fantastic. And what I want to do when I go across the country is to really celebrate the great work Canadian scientists do. We will establish a new chief science officer, and this position will be key to ensuring that scientific communication is sustained across government in an effective way. Chief Science Officer will help ensure that scientific analyses are considered when the government makes decisions. And I want you to know we're already looking at mandates for this position, roles, responsibility, best practices. I had the privilege of meeting with Sir Peter yesterday. But more work needs to be done so that we get the right mechanisms to make this work best. I look forward to promoting science, technology, engineering, and math, particularly among our youth, women, and Indigenous people. You have seen I've been asked to work with the Minister of Employment, Workforce Development, and Labor to help employers create more STEM co-op placements. And like many of you in this room, my life was education. I loved my students, and I loved to see, there was no greater joy than seeing them achieve their dreams. I care deeply about our youth and education. I want to stress that my job will not only be about delivering new policies. It's going to involve changing how to arrive at those policies. I hope you will notice a new style of leadership and new tone. Prime Minister Trudeau made a commitment to Canadians to pursue our policy agenda in a renewed sense of collaboration. In my case, this is going to require a large degree of partnerships, of teamwork, and collaborations, with my colleagues around the cabinet table, with provinces and territories, with foreign governments and international forums, and of course, with Canada's excellent universities, colleges, polytechnics, nonprofit research organizations. Simply put, I want to work with you. I am here to listen to your ideas. I want to reintroduce scientific consideration into the heart of our decision-making and investment choices. Comme ministre des Sciences, je ferai tout en mon pouvoir pour que les choses continuent sur la même lancée. Let me finish by saying, as Minister of Science, I pledge to do everything in my power to build momentum. And with that, let me say thank you again for the work you do. Merci beaucoup.